Hi everyone, I'm here in front of the beautiful Bond Hall at the University of Notre Dame where I just had class, and I felt inspired by my class to finally do this. I don't know why I'm talking like I'm talking to someone, because I don't anticipate anyone ever literally watching this, and I'm not making it for it to ever be watched, but this is something I've been thinking about doing for a very long time, and so I wanted to do it because I felt inspired. I'm taking the reason what I want to do, what I keep talking about is I'm really interested in starting a video journal, where I just talk about things that I think about, because I feel like thought daughter, like I am the daughter thinking, always thought. Like I feel like intelligent people are sentenced to think, if that makes sense, and not to be like I'm so intelligent, whatever. But I do think that people who are intelligent are sentenced to think, and I feel like I'm always just thinking about things. And I know this is like a minute of me rambling now, but I just wanted to start this. Also, before I go, do a little fit check. I really love my outfit today. Hold on. It's a second day of class, so I dressed up. Yeah. So what inspired me is I had my first class of German history through film, which I'm taking at the University of Notre Dame here, and I am really, really, really excited for this class because it combines some of my niche interests that I have, which are German history and the World War eras and film. I am like Letterboxd daughter. Fully, I'll admit it. That's exactly me. Also, I'm just gonna gum out you. No, I love film. Talk to me about films anytime, and I will talk your ear off forever. Ever since I saw my first like memorable film, which was going to see Coraline in theaters when I was 5 years old, I think. I've just been obsessed with films ever since then. I try to see everything I can. I'm just always watching movies this summer. When I was in Seattle living by myself, I constantly had one on, constantly, because I want to see everything. If it's like a blockbuster movie, like a Marvel film, I want to see that. If it's more of like an indie blah blah blah, I want to see that. If it's a historical documentary, I just love movies. And I first started being really interested in like Germany history, World Wars era type information when I took IB History 2 my senior year of high school. That class was literally 6 of us girls going for our IB diploma. I never would have taken it if it wasn't a required class, but learning about communism and fascism and Nazism and Maoism, all of those topics in that class, I got so into it, and it really, my senior year was like, I became obsessed with that class and learning all that information, and that obsession has kind of never left me now, and this idea of like German history through film is something that has been actually like a recurring, interesting, strange thing through my life, because my dad and I really only ever had the commonality of sports, and like I'm very much my dad's daughter, and my sister's like my mom's daughter, and so once we didn't have sports anymore, it's kind of like, well, what the heck do we do? What do we talk about? I'm a computer engineer, he's finance, like we don't have anything in common anymore. And then we started watching movies together, and we'd watch war films, specifically like World War I, World War II films, documentaries, etc. And that's something that really connected the two of us. When I come home from break, or for break from college. It's just a fun thing that we always do. And so I'm really, really excited for this class. And I don't know what I really expected. I didn't know what films you're gonna watch. I just added it yesterday, so I didn't have any information going in. I walk in, it's in the most beautiful hall on campus, or one of the most beautiful halls on campus. It's in this big auditorium, and our professors are so energetic. You can tell they just absolutely love what they're teaching, love what they're talking about, are super, super excited to share with us what they're talking about. They invented the class over drinks, so that's always when you know that something's going to be good, is when it's really like the passion project of a person or people, and I can tell that that's what this is. So the first professor goes up and he starts talking about Nazism and Hitler and World War II and propaganda that came along with that, which automatically like hooked on that. So excited. That was a lot of what we talked about in IB history, because the IB courses focus a lot on how does this piece of art connect to this history, this time period. So I feel like this class is really, really born out of what I had learned in that part of the course. So I was really excited automatically. Like, I'm German, German and Ukrainian, so. But that's also correlating to how recently, like, I never got interested in politics. Like, never listened to politics, never listened to the news, never talked about politics. And then everything in the Ukraine started happening, and I got a little more interested, started watching some information, getting more up to speed. And then when Palestine happened, Palestine's been, October 7th. When October 7th happened, then I really got into it. And then over Christmas break of last year, which will be a break that comes up a lot, probably, I'm guessing, in the rest of my talking, I got really into politics and the news. And I know this probably isn't like the greatest source, but I love watching Hassan Piker. He puts things into a way that is easily digestible, at least for me. Politics wise, I also became really interested in just like video documentaries, which is maybe why I'm doing this, I don't know, but like podcasts, video documentaries, streaming, no one's gonna watch this, but I am enjoying talking about it because I needed to get my words out of my brain because I think about it all the time. Where was I even going with this? Okay. So over the break, started watching this stuff, taking this class. First professor talks about the world wars, or World War II, Hitler, continuing on. I'm German Ukrainian, that's what I was saying. So he talks about that, and then the second professor comes up and he changes it around and starts talking about, instead of more of a historical take, talking about like the artistic take side, so more about the films themselves. But he doesn't even go at it from a film angle. He starts talking about death, and he brings up, like, does anyone read obituaries? If you were to die, what do you think yours would say? What would you be remembered for? Etc. So immediately I was hooked on that, because death is something also that I'm sure I'll talk about more, but I've never really been sad with regards to death. I've been kind of indifferent to the idea. When people around me die, it doesn't really affect me, except for the one big one that I'll share the story about another time as well. So to think about it, and the way that he was talking about the way that we're going to analyze it and the way that people handle it, I'm just very excited. And the way that it's portrayed in films too, because, so for context, over this last winter break, I was having a really tough time, and I went to go visit my grandma, who was in hospice, and I knew she was dying. And I knew that I'd be able to take it if I was there and she did die. But being there was kind of like a comfort thing for me, in the same way that I thought I was doing her maybe some comfort. And when I went to visit her, it was just me and her in the room, and she died. And it wasn't just like she closed her eyes and never woke up. Like, I witnessed death and the last breaths and like a struggle, and I've seen gory, brutal murders, deaths. I love horrors, thrillers, so I've seen that all in movies and TV shows, and it never actually affects me. And maybe it's just that I'm so desensitized to it because of the gruesomeness of the media that I consume. But I just was like, okay, she died. And then I brought my family to the hospice place, and I got picked up, and I went home, and I was like, I never cried. I loved my grandma. She was the nicest, kindest person I've ever met. She was just so sweet. People always said that we looked like each other. She was always at everything, all of my events growing up. I really, really, really loved my grandma, yet I had no reaction to the death. And funnily enough, I'd been watching Suspiria before I went over to visit my grandma. So when I got back home, I just went back downstairs and finished the movie. And then at the end of that movie, I'm talking about the more modern version, it's just so much death. It is intense. It's literally insane, intense death is all I can think to explain it as. And then I don't know what happened. Apparently I went upstairs. My mom said that I was like really weird, like a freaking blank slate. There was nothing under the eyes. I was acting like really weird. Went upstairs and cut all my hair off. My hair used to be like down to there, and then I just took scissors, put her in a ponytail. I put my phone to take a video and cut it all off like up here. So it's grown a bit, but not much. And that was a really weird thing for me because I don't cut my hair. I have like long Barbie blonde hair that was like a pride of mine, and I cut it all off. And so then I broke down in tears. My sister was like freaking out. I started freaking out. I was basically hyperventilating, crying, whether that was about the death of my grandma or the combination of that with seeing it and then seeing the movie, or what happened. I'm not exactly sure, but the way that he was talking about death and death in films, and the way that the films we're going to be watching are so about Germany and death. Like, it was exactly, I was sitting in that class and I was thinking, wow, a lot of the things that have happened to me in the past year and that I think about and that are my passions, and I knew where my passions going in, now we're adding this additional layer of like the death aspect. And then there's just like all these synapses in my brain were firing, and like I just need to get it out. So like, is this me doing therapy where I just talk to a camera? Probably. But I've wanted to do these videos for a long time, and I rambled, like, God, I ramble so much. And that's something that people think I'm an extrovert because I talk a lot, but people who really know me know that I'm literally not at all. I think I'm very much a performative ambivert, maybe. So when I am being extroverted, I'm extremely extroverted, and I'm being like the leader, the president, the whatever, and talking 24/7 and super social, whatever. But when I'm not, like, I'm being thought not of, which is so annoying, I know, and like, no, you think you're, like, that's the truth, and it's the reason that I am the way that I am. So like, anyone who knows me knows what that means. But anyways, I'm just very excited to talk about all of these things in that class, and also like get out the things that I've been wanting to talk about on this like video diary. And I figured, like, what's a better time and place other than after I just had all those conversations, or like listened to that in that class, in literally like the most beautiful building on campus. I'm on the like quad here, which I don't even know what this quad is called. Like, it's so pretty, see? And like, you got the dome there, the church there, and then like, I thought, what better time and place. I'm gonna continue making these videos because I don't just also want to make them about like film and stuff and class and whatever. I want to make about everything. Like, I want to talk about the things that I've always been too scared to talk about, and the things about myself that I don't like to tell people because no one's gonna watch these. So, well, it doesn't really matter. But also, if you do watch it and you do know me in real life, like, just don't ever bring any of this up to me. But anyways, very excited to watch some more movies, learn more German history. You know what? I knew I was gonna like this professor when the beginning, like right before class started. He's like, "Did anyone do anything cool this summer?" And someone said that they were learning Russian, which I'm also learning. And he was like, "Oh my God, so happy to have a Russian speaker in this class." Like, I always say that if I hadn't been history, whatever, I would have been like Russian history. Like, I was like, this is my dude. So I'm just very excited. But yeah. I think I have more things I wanted to talk about. And also, I'm pretty sure I just like repeated the same thing a million times. But okay. Bye. I'll make more videos, I guess.